Pablo Escobar was a Colombian drug lord and one of the most powerful men in the world, still one of the most evil as well. Today we're counting down 10 facts about Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar was born in Rio Negro, Colombia. His father was a farmer and his mother was an elementary school teacher. However, Pablo had different plans for his life. In fact, when he was just a teenager, he started committing crimes. Pablo would constantly steal tombstones and sandblast the names of them, to later sell them to smugglers in Panama. It's also been said that Escobar was ambitious from the beginning. To be a bit more accurate, Escobar used to tell his friends he would become a millionaire by the time he was 22. Before becoming a drug lord, Pablo used to steal cars, sell contraband cigarettes and fake lottery tickets. He was once paid $100,000 to kidnap a Medellin executive, which he did. However, Pablo entered to the drug business in the 70s. It wasn't until 1975 that he got the local lord, Fabio Restrepo, murdered, then took over his organization and expanded operations. Shortly after, Pablo was controlling all the crime in Medellin and was as well responsible for the 80% of the cocaine that was transported to the United States. As the time was passing, Pablo started to become more and more powerful every time. His power was so big that he was able to transport 15 tons of cocaine per day. This amount of drugs was worth $500,000, and it was only the money he could earn by smuggling drugs to the United States. However, with the pass of the time, Pablo earned so much money that he couldn't even save it in a bank. In fact, he stored bricks of cash in a warehouse where 10% of it was lost because rats would eat the money or it would just be simply damaged by the water. It's also known that the ex-drug lord used to spend $2,500 monthly in rubber bands to grab around the cash. Pablo Escobar's way of dealing with his enemies was plata o plomo, which in English translates to silver or lead. This meant that if someone got in his way, he would first intimidate him, and if it didn't work, then that person was ordered to be killed. The exact numbers of deaths caused by Pablo Escobar is not known to this day, but it's been said that he is responsible for the death of 10,000 people. At least 5,000 of them were murdered by himself. Also, Pablo didn't really care about who was his target. This due to the fact that he had sent to kill from journalists to presidential candidates. Pablo Escobar had so much money that he once bought 20 square kilometers of land near the town of Puerto Triunfo and sent to build a zoo, a lake and other things. An interesting fact about this is that the idea of Pablo getting a zoo came after his daughter asking if she could have a pet. It's been said that this place used to host huge parties where Colombia's most powerful and beautiful people would assist. We all know Pablo Escobar was one of the worst criminal minds that this world could have ever had. However, he had the image of a Robin Hood among the poor people. Escobar spent millions of dollars in building parks, schools, hospitals, and even churches. He even distributed money through housing projects and other civic activities. This made him be elected as a deputy alternative representative to the House of Representatives of Colombia's Congress. Escobar was responsible for bombing Avianca Flight 203. He did this with the intention of killing the back then presidential candidate Cesar Gaviria. However, Gaviria wasn't traveling on that plane and so he could save himself and eventually become the president of Colombia. The bad side about this was that the attack committed by this criminal ended up with the life of 110 people who were traveling on that flight. After the assassination of a presidential candidate, the government of Gaviria decided to act against Escobar and the drug cartel. In only a few months, the government convinced Escobar into turning himself, and in exchange, he would receive a reduced sentence and good treatment while being in prison. Things seemed to go as planned until Escobar discovered what the real plan of the government was and hurried to escape. The biggest fear of Pablo Escobar was to be extradited to the United States. This fear was so big that he even offered the government of his country $10 billion, so if that he was ever caught, he could still be living in Colombia. Escobar was without a doubt one of the most wanted criminals in the world. Many people had tried to end with his life during the pass of the time. In fact, in 1992 there were two organizations looking for him. One of them was the Search Block, a special US-trained Colombian task force, and Los Pepes, a shadowy organization formed by the family members of Escobar's victims. On December 2, 1993, Search Block found Escobar, and as a result, he was killed. However, the theories about how the drug lord died are quite different. There are people who say he committed suicide when he found himself trapped by the organization, while there are others who say he was shot by a policeman. If you like this video, please subscribe, share and give it a thumbs up. Also, do not forget you can write your comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.